I refused to let a woman cut in line at Costco, and she started screaming at me. My girlfriend Lisa and I went to Costco during our lunch break to do our weekly shopping. We figured going at noon would save us from dealing with the after-work crowd that turns the place into an absolute zoo. We grabbed our cart and went through the store picking up the usual stuff. Toilet paper, those giant bags of frozen chicken, a box of protein bars that could feed an army. By the time we were done, our cart was loaded. The checkout lines were already getting long even though it was lunchtime. We picked a line that looked decent and settled into wait. There were 3 carts behind us, all pretty full. Everyone was just standing there, scrolling on their phones like normal. We'd been waiting maybe 10 minutes when we were finally next in line. The guy ahead of us was loading his stuff onto the belt. That's when this woman just walks up and positions herself between us and the checkout. She's holding a single bag of coffee beans, nothing else. I cleared my throat and said, "Excuse me." She turns around and looks at me like I'm the one being rude. "I just have one item I forgot," she said, then turned back around like that explained everything. I kept my voice polite and said they have express checkout for exactly that reason. I even pointed to where it was on the other side of the store. She looked over at it, then back at me and said the line over there is too long. I couldn't believe it. I told her she's not cutting in front of us because we've all been waiting just like she has to. That's just how Costco works. Everyone waits their turn. That's when she completely lost it. She started yelling, "Shame, shame, shame" at me over and over, pointing her finger right in my face. People in other lines were turning around to stare. The cashier looked completely shocked. The woman kept screaming about how she's on her lunch break and has to get back to her computer. She said I was a horrible person for making her wait, like somehow her lunch break was more important than everyone else's time. I just stood there, not saying anything because honestly, what do you even say to someone acting like that? She was making this huge scene over a bag of coffee. Finally, she just storms off toward the express checkout, still muttering about how rude people are these days. The guy ahead of us had stopped loading his stuff and was watching the whole thing. He looked at me and said, "Good for you, man." The cashier shook her head and said she deals with people like that every single day. We finished checking out and loaded everything into Lisa's car. That's when she gave me this look, this kind of side eye that said she thought maybe I should have just let the woman cut. I asked her what was wrong and she said I could have just been nice and let her go. It was only one item. But that's not the point. The point is this woman saw the long express line, decided she didn't want to wait, and tried to just skip ahead of everyone else. We'd been standing there for 10 minutes with a full cart. The 3 people behind us had been waiting too. Why should she get to cut just because she only grabbed one thing? That's literally what the express checkout is for. Lisa said I was being stubborn and that it would have taken 2 seconds to let her go, but it's not about the time. It's about people thinking the rules don't apply to them and throwing tantrums when someone finally says no. The whole drive back to work, Lisa barely talked to me. When we got back, she said I embarrassed her by causing a scene, but I didn't cause anything. That woman caused the scene by screaming in the middle of Costco because she didn't get her way.